Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. I was about to say language or mobile. I have that auto battle going on my phone right now. So while that's happening, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can knock out scenario 4, the Boundary Beyond. Rays of hot yellow sunlight beat down on you from above as your car speeds down the dusty highways of southern Texas, just outside of San Antonio. It has been several days since you hit the road from Arkham on your way to Mexico City, where you may be able to get answers from some of Alejandro's associates, or even better, from his adversaries in academia. Your recent investigations in Arkham uncovered much, but despite all the knowledge you laid bare, the trail went cold soon after. The Brotherhood that you exposed in Arkham has all but vanished from the city. Its members left behind little information as to their next objective other than the name Nexus Nakai, a place of power that Ishtaka believes is the Brotherhood's ultimate destination. Enigmatic as ever, the Etsley warrior sits in the passenger seat next to you. She is tense and coiled like a spring, the forward's leather seat offering her little comfort. In order, read the following sections. If the investigators forged a bond with Ishtaka, which we did, we do Ishtaka's request. How close are we? Ishtaka asked for the 100th time since departing from Arkham. We have to get to Anahuac as fast as we can. The longer we take, the more time the Brotherhood has to reach the Nexus. You recognize the old Aztec name for the Valley of Mexico and inform Ishtaka that you will be crossing the border into Mexico within the hour. She crosses her arms and grits her teeth. No ill effects. If the investigators found the missing relic, which we did, the lead investigator reads arcane thrumming. Throughout the journey south, the device you recovered from the clutches of the Brotherhood continues its endless humming, wrapped in a thin bedsheet on the back seat of your car. Your understanding of the relic's nature is deepening. The investigator with the Relic of Age, a device of some sort, is in their deck, swaps it with the Relic of Ages, forestalling the future. So this is the Relic of Ages, forestalling the future. Item, relic, still same cost, same commit symbols. As a lightning bolt, you can exhaust it to do a willpower or intelligence 4 test. If you succeed, you remove 1 doom from the current agenda. If you fail, you add 1 doom to Relic of Ages, max 1 success per game. The device throbs with power in your hands, and the air shimmers around its frame. Can you really alter the flow of time? So this is a way to kind of help rewind some of the doom clock, which is very helpful. Of course, if you fail, you could speed it up, but the best way to handle this is just to use it as like before it's about to flip, in which case if you do fail, it doesn't make it any worse. So that's been replaced, and we'll put it over here. Okay. Next, check campaign log. If investigators rescue Alejandro, which we did, we read Alejandro's thoughts. Throughout your journey, Alejandro scribbles endlessly in his journal, the sound of pencil scratching against paper a constant reminder of his presence. He remains huddled in the back seat of the car, his knees keeping the journal still, his brows furrowed in thought. This Brotherhood is the least of our concerns, he says with an air of finality. I've been trying to decrypt the glyphs the device bears. The symbols are clearly not Aztec nor Mayan, nor are they from any other Mesoamerican civilization for that matter. I believe there's some other place the relic belongs, somewhere it was taken from. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Ishtaka? Ishtaka's already grim expression grows darker, her eyes narrowing. She doesn't bother to turn around in her seat before addressing Alejandro. It belongs somewhere meddlesome scholars cannot abuse its power, she replies in a cold tone, and that is the end of the discussion. Crossing the border into Mexico is a less stressful endeavor than you imagine it to be due to Alejandro's connections. You are waved through customs with nary a stray glance, and soon enough you are on your way to Mexico City. Each investigator begins the scenario with 2 additional resources. So we start with 7. Next. After arriving in Mexico City, you are disheartened to find very little information regarding the Brotherhood or the Nexus. You peruse the archives of the city's libraries and universities, but come up empty-handed. You can't find any of Alejandro's former colleagues in the city, and even his enemies refuse to speak to you. Save for one, a woman named Padma Emerita, who studied Alejandro's work before he came to Arkham. She agrees to meet you at a trendy lounge in the southern part of the city late at night. Ishtaka remains a short distance away, observing your new informant silently. Padma knows a lot about Alejandro's research, and even claims to have heard of the Nexus of Nakai, though she refuses to tell you how to find it. It is a fool's errand, she tells you. There is nothing to find. Just a myth. Trust me. Many have searched for it, none have found it. You point out that the Etzley people were not a myth, and she responds with a charming smile. Perhaps not, but all this about the Etzleys still being alive, undiscovered for centuries, she laughs heartily. Bourgeois, pure and simple. Come now, you don't expect real scholars to believe that, do you? Your eyes are drawn to Ishtaka, who is overhearing the conversation with crossed arms, her nails dug into her forearms. Padma's eyes wander over as well, the hint of a smirk on her lips. In any event, I apologize, but I don't have any information for you. Only a sap would continue this research any further. Good day. Padma leaves with another alluring smile, a sweet scent trailing behind her as she departs. Once she is out of sight, Ishtaka sits down next to you, and you discuss your next move. After a week of failure after failure, she has grown impatient. You offer a few more suggestions regarding whom you could speak to next, but her mind is elsewhere. When you return to your hotel, she immediately retreats to her room to make preparations for tomorrow. You decided to settle in for the night. Before long, your mind is meandering hazily into a dreamless slumber. In the far recesses of your awareness, however, you can hear Ishtaka reciting a cryptic incantation. All right, so for the setup here, it's based off you're going to be adding cards to the encounter deck based off what symbols you have. If you have more cultists, in other words, you're doing the Ishtaka path, you'll end up having Dark Cult in the Brotherhood. If you have more tablets or the Alejandro route, you'll have the Yig's Venom and Guardians of Time encounter set. And if neither are true, which is what we're doing, we'll have kind of a mix. We have essentially one from each of them. So we have Guardians of Time and the Narcotic Brotherhood, both of which are probably the worst of the bunch. So with that in mind, we got the encounter set up here. 2 or more cultists, 2 or more tablet, 2 or neither. So it'll be this one, which of course includes arrows from the trees. The worst. Just making sure. 10, neither, 2 tablet, nor cultist. Yep. So that will be what's added to the deck. This will get set to a side. Our starting location is going to each investigator can choose. They can either start at Zocalo or Koyo Akan. I'm going to apologize again. These are all Spanish names, and I'm not going to pronounce them correctly. I apologize. It's just not. I don't know how they're pronounced. This does have the exploration deck. It has 12 locations, and then a window to another time, timeline destabilization, a tear in time, and lost in time. So 12 locations and 5 treacheries. I can guarantee you I'll go through all the treacheries before I get the location I need. Padma and Marita set aside. We don't have to worry about poison, and everything else I think is okay. There's some rules about replacing locations. Throughout the scenario, you may be instructed to replace a new location on top of existing ones. When a location is placed on top of a location that is already in play, it takes its place. All tokens, attachments, investigators, enemies, and other cards at the former location are now considered to be at the new location. They have not moved. The location simply changed. If a location leaves play and there's another location underneath it, that location takes its place. All tokens, attachments, and all that transfer over. Due to how the scripting works, I'm not gonna stack them because it does mess with the pathing, and the pathing is going to change a lot. So we're not going to worry about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and shuffle the encounter deck, shuffle the exploration deck, and then read this. There are 2 agendas. Agenda 1A, the boundary broken. Ishtaka is already up and about when you awaken, donning her traditional armor, her bow on her back and a long blade at her side. Something is wrong, she states cryptically. I only meant to peer through the boundary. Her eyes are bloodshot, her face pale as a ghost. You suspect she hasn't slept all night. It matters not. It is time you witness the fate that will befall humanity if we fail. 8 doomed to advance. There are 2 acts. Act 1A, crossing the threshold. As you depart the hotel, you realize that the landscape of the city has been altered. Silver lightning crackles in the sky overhead, and the earth rumbles deep below your feet. Monstrous polypus entities float just below the clouds. What is going on? You yell to Ishtaka over the whistling wind. What is this place? One future, she replies enigmatically. After the first Tenochtitlan location enters play by exploring it successfully, you advance. I'm going to call these just Tenno locations because I can't pronounce it. So as mentioned, we can either start at Koyo Akan or Zocalo. I usually start at Zocalo and just focus on getting them and focus on the cathedral first. but there's definitely a few ways you can kind of go about this. I'll go ahead and read about the tokens real quick. The Boundary Beyond, cultist, the skull is -1. It's -3 if it's at an ancient location. We don't cultist. If we had it, it would have been reveal another token. If you fail, you place a doom on a cultist. Tablet is you reveal another token if you fail, and there's a serpent enemy at that location that attacks you. And then the final one is an elder thing, which is -4, and if you fail, you place a clue from the token pool on the nearest ancient location. So we have a -4 to deal with now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a break here and BRB. Actually, before we do the setup, I did forget one more entry. There is check your supplies. Any one investigator must cross off 1 gasoline from their supplies. If no gasoline was crossed off, read out of gas. Now, one thing to note is you have to do this if you have the supply. So you can't just save a supply for a future thing. If we didn't have this gas, we would not be able to do a mulligan. So you just draw whatever your starting hand is. So I do have a gasoline. I will have to spend it. All right. So with that, we don't have to worry about food or anything like that. It's just gas. Okay, so that is it. So BRB. All right, so first things first, we need to get Mandy set up. So shuffle, put it aside, take a deep breath, and flip it. The Fool. This is actually a rough one. Each investigator. Okay, this. Oh no, this is the one if we only get defeated, which that has a chance of happening. But yeah, each investigator who's defeated, or in this case just Mandy. If Mandy gets defeated, she'll get 2 less experience. So at least it won't affect her performance. That's the good news. Next, we need to shuffle and search and go Promise of Power, Perception, Deduction, and a Survey the Area. Okay, those are my 5 cards. Not too bad. Could be better. Shuffle it one more time and then draw 5. Or sorry, draw 6. I do have 1 Studious. Okie dokie. This is a hand. Let's tag out a Mr. Rook, and I'm burning the Midnight Oil. Actually, we'll do both. We'll tag out both the burning and midnight oils. And then draw 3. 1, 2, 3. That's a weakness. Draw. Okay, knowledge is power. And shuffle. Okay. This will be interesting. Alright, and then over here with Larita, I need to do this. There we go. Starting with an ace in the hole already. Let's tag out, actually, all of this is not too shabby. Sure, we'll just thinking how I want to do this. We definitely want the take heart with it. We definitely want the lucky. I don't think we want the take heart. The rest of this is okay. Okay, I can live with that. Shuffle this one more time. All right, we'll go ahead and have Rita start over at Coyoacan, and Mandy will start at Zocalo. Zocalo, Mexico City, present day, the main square in central Mexico City. Once the ceremonial center of Teno stretches before you. Several silver lightning flashes in the storm clouds overhead, and you are shocked to find a tide of blood swelling over the plaza. The entire city is bizarrely devoid of any life. All right, 3 shroud, 0 clues. As an action, you can discard cards with a total combined cost of at least 5 from your hand to explore. Draw the top card of the exploration deck. If it is a location with a matching location symbol in the upper left corner, place it on top of this location, taking its place. So in this one, you're not looking for connections. You're looking for matching icons to put on top of this. All right, Coyoacan, Mexico City, present day. Although not always a part of Mexico City, Coyoacan has always been a historic area marked by narrow cobblestone streets and plazas. The ground shakes as you walk down one of the village's many confined paths, and you suspect there is more that lives below the surface. This one is as an action. Take 1 damage or 1 horror to explore. Draw the top card. If it is a location with a matching icon, you can place it on top of this location, taking this place. Okay. So we'll go ahead and start with Mandy. Yeah, we'll go ahead and start with Mandy. I'm going to spend 3 to go ahead and get out Mr. Rook. And then I'm going to use my ability with Mr. Rook's ability and search top 9 and pick 2 cards. Necronomicon, we got it. Actually, I don't want the Necronomicon right now. I know that sounds weird. Actually, no, I do want the Necronomicon. And I do want the segment of Onyx. I do want the Expedition Journal, I so do, but I need the segment of Onyx now. Get that out of the way. Okay, shuffled. At this point, I will go ahead and spin the 3 to get out the Pendant of the Queen. Like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the Metropolitan Cathedral and get ready for that. The Cathedral Metropolitana, situated on the northern side of the Plaza de la Constitucion, was built by conquistadors after the conquest of the Aztec Empire. Cloud wisps swirl eerily over each of the cathedral's bell towers. So yeah, Zocalo is generally one of the last ones I will explore because you have to discard a lot of cards to actually make this work. And I actually don't have a lot of assets that have cost. 3 Shrouds, 0 Clues. As an action, you can take a horror to draw 2 cards. As an action, if you have 6 or more cards in your hand, you can explore, draw the top card of the exploration deck. If it is a location, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle again because I did the Mr. Rook thing and just wanted to make sure I did it. Okay. So we have a few things we can do. We could start doing the library pass thing right now. With this, I could get 12 cards, or not 12 cards, I can get 6 cards and attempt to do the Explorer. Which is pretty wild. So I'll exhaust the library pass and attach the Necronomicon to this. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 secrets to draw 2 cards. Okay. I will spend 2 secrets to draw 2 cards. Okay. And so that puts me at what? I have 7 cards in my hand. Okay. It can be kind of dangerous, but if we can pull it off, it would be nice. All right, so for my last action, I am going to go ahead and explore. So, I need a red square. I didn't get it. Shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck, moving all damage and all that good stuff. All right. So I have to pick a non-story asset and put it back into my deck. It's going to have to be Mr. Rook, unfortunately. Shuffle it back into my deck. All right. All right, that is what happened. I'll go ahead and I'm just wondering what I have in here that I could work with. I mean, this is gonna end up being dropped anyway, unless I spend a resource, which I don't want to do. I'll go ahead and spend those last 2 clues to draw 2 cards. Okay. At the end, when your turn ends, I will put this on the bottom of my deck. All right. So I'll end up discarding some cards for this, but that's okay. I can live with that. All right, so with all that said and done, let's go ahead and go to Rita. Rita, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to get out the hunting jacket. I'm going to spend 3 to get, let's see, I had 7. This costs 2, and I'll spend 3 to get out the beat cleaver. I'm going to go ahead and use hunting jacket to put this face down and gain a resource. And then I'm going to draw a card for my last action. Okay. No enemies, go to upkeep. So unfortunately I'm going to have to discard some cards. That's to be expected. Alright, I'm keeping the ward. I'm going to drop the burning the midnight oil for now. And I think I'll get rid of the knowledge's power. I know that's kind of weird, but that's kind of what I have to do for now until I get stable. And then for you, upkeep. Okay, we got a Grizzled. Mythos, First Doom. I believe we shuffled that, so we're good to go. Shadowed, if there are no I'll take 1 horn to get Surge. I'll take the horror, and I'll Surge. Serpent of Tenno. Humanoid monster serpent. 3 fight, 3 evade, 5 health. While the serpent is at an ancient location with clues on it, it gains retaliate and alert. Otherwise, it gets hunter. After the serpent deals you damage from its attack, if you are not poisoned, put the set aside poison weakness into play in your threat area. Victory 1, Vengeance 1, hits for 1 and 1. Okay. Operation Deal with this guy. So yeah, this guy is why I have this existential riddle. And every time I've used it against this thing, I've auto failed. Meanwhile, over here, arrows from the trees take 1 damage plus 1 additional damage for each ally. Thankfully, I don't have any allies. I'll just put a damage on the hunting jacket. All right, investigation. All right. I think it's we might as well just pull this band-aid right off. I'm going to spend 1 to go ahead and do existential riddle. I have 7 cards in my hand, but before I'll go ahead and do an ancestral knowledge and add a deduction to my hand. That'll bring me back up to 8. So that puts me at 5-0. So I only fail on auto fail. This is not an elite enemy. Alright, game. Moment of truth. We passed. Okay. So he's evaded, and he's now aloof. And now I don't have to worry about him ever again. I mean, there's a few things I do still need to worry about from him, but for right now, we're okay. Okay, next, I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource. And then I'm going to spend 2 resources to get out Expedition Journal. What's funny is I could use Library Pass to get this thing out, but it will only last for 1 round. Expedition Journal will let me take an additional action. I'm just going to exhaust it to represent I'm doing this, and I'm going to explore. I still have 7 cards in my hand. Do I want to do it now, though? I think I'm going to wait. I'll take the risk. There's a chance I can get something pretty bad, but there's not much I can do about it. So it's already been shuffled. I need a red square. Got it. So we're just going to swap this out for this thing. Alright, forced after Temple of Tenno enters play, place 1 doom on the nearest enemy, which unfortunately is going to be this guy. Not much we can do about it. As an action, you can place 1 doom on the enemy to discover 2 clues at this location. Group limit once per round. It has 2 shroud, 4 clues. Alright. After the first Tenno location has entered play, by exploring successfully, you advance. And this is an ancient location, by the way. So this is the... I think it's all still called the same thing. Nope, it's actually called the Temples of Tenno. So, cool. Alright. Moment of truth. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of moments of truth in this one. Into the past. In the distance, light seeps through a wide crack in the ground. As you approach it, you realize the chasm is not natural at all. Below, you see the sky as if you were peering into a reflection of the clouds above. Wisps of gray smoke emerge from the chasm, giving off a familiar bittersweet scent. You step through and resist the urge to vomit as the world spins upside down. When you open your eyes again, you are in another place, not somewhere, but somewhen. The investigator who put the Tenno location into play by exploring successfully must test a willpower for it. If he or she fails, he or she must search the collection for a random basic madness or injury weakness and shuffle it back into his or her deck. Be aware that location connections are different on Tenno locations. This is also the other reason why I don't stack them, because it does change the things. So yeah, this is the trap here. You advance and you could potentially get a weakness. Preferably, I would rather have Rita do it, since I'm fine with her having another weakness. On Mandy, it's kind of rough because of what you call it, Mr. Rook, and the fact she cycles through her deck so much. But there's not much I can do about it. Good news, this is partially also why I have things like Occult Theory. This will make me 8 to 4, but I have drawn the autofail on this and rage quit, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I got this guy. So I'll take, if I get a weakness, it happens. Okay, we passed. We're fine. Now for the rest of the stuff. Okay. Past and present. Is this real or a vision? Either way, the secrets of the ancients may hold the key of finding the nexus of Nakai. Find paths to the nexus by discovering all of the clues from as many different Tenno locations as you can before time runs out. If there are 6 Tenno locations in play with no clues on them, you advance. So, I'm going to go ahead and use a Pin to the Queen at this point to grab a clue from this location. And that's it for Mandy. Rita. We got some things to do. So I can explore here if I really want to, but I think I'm just going to keep getting prepared, because that's really all I can do right now. So as an action, I'm going to draw a card. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to get out Track Shoes. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. Okay, I can work with that. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust the Hunting Jacket. And I'm going to put down another Take Heart. Actually, not a Take Heart. Yeah, I'll put down a Take Heart. And gain 2 resources. And then that'll be it on that. Alright, meanwhile, enemy phase, this guy is exhausted and aloof now. Enemy phase, he's going to hang around for a while. Unfortunately, he's going to accumulate doom at this rate if I'm not careful. Alright, upkeep. Okay, we got Mr. Rook again. I don't have any resources, but we have Mr. Rook again. I also haven't drawn my weakness from this thing yet either. Okay, look what I found. That is something I can work with. Alright, Mythos. 3rd Doom out of 8. Hand of the Brotherhood. Any empty location after the last clue is discovered from an ancient location. If the Hand of Brotherhood is ready, place 1 doom on the Hand of the Brotherhood. While Hand of the Brotherhood is ready, activation and reaction abilities on its location and connecting locations cannot be triggered. 2 fight, 2 evade, 2 health. So we need to deal with him eventually. I could probably just backtrack to there and deal with it that way. Meanwhile, over here, window to another time. This is the Ancient Evils. You can either choose and shuffle an ancient location back into the exploration deck, in which case it resets your progress, or you place a doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Got no other choice. Alright, investigation. We're at the mercy of that thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with Rita. I'll spend 1 to get out Sparrow Mask, and then I'm going to move to engage this guy, and then I'm going to fight him. I can go 4 to 2. Yeah, 4 to 2. And I will take a horror. Okay. I'll go ahead and do Ace in the Hole. I'll attack again. I'll take a horror. 4 to 2. We succeed. We do 2 damage and kill it, and I'll heal a horror. And that leaves me with 2 actions remaining. I will go ahead and draw a card. And last action, I'm just going to go ahead and move back to here. And then I will use the hunting jacket one more time to put this look what I found in here. And I'll gain 3 resources. Alright. So we got that going for us. Meanwhile, with Mandy, let's see what we can make happen. I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location. I am currently 5 to 2. I'll commit a deduction to go 6 to 2. That's a success. I'll get 2 clues. And then I will go ahead and use the Pendant of the Queen to get another clue from it. Alright, 1 location done. I'm going to go ahead and move. Temple Ruins. Though the exact location of the main temple of Tenno is not yet known, excavation has begun in search of the ruins of the many temples that once covered this area. So 4 shrouds, 0 clues, a double action to explore, and that's it. So it's just a double action, which I can do. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So I'll do Expedition Journal and use my remaining action to explore. So we need Yellow Circle. Got it. After Templo Mayor, 4 shroud, 2 clues. After Templo Mayor enters play, shuffle the encounter deck and discard pile into the encounter deck. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a serpent is discarded. Spawn that enemy here. After you, as a reaction, after you defeat or evade a serpent enemy at this location, you can discover a clue. Group limit once per phase. So I'm just going to save you the trouble. There are no other serpents in this deck. The only one that was available is this one, and we already spawned it. So what's going to end up happening is we shuffle the encounter discard pile into this, which still sucks because that Ancient Evil equivalent is going to be put back in here. And then we literally discard everything until it's empty, and that's all that happens. Of course, you can use this as an opportunity to see all the cards that are coming, like this timeline destabilization that's going to screw us. But for right now, we got this going for us. All right, that is it for Mandy. That is it for Rita. Go to enemy phase. This guy's going to say hello to us, but he's aloof. Upkeep. Grim Memoir? Ooh. You don't say. Alright. Upkeep. Elaborate Distraction. Neat. Mythos. We are at 5 of 8. Another Hand of the Brotherhood. I'm going to put it here, just like before. Another one. That's going to be a little scary. If, okay, only if it's ready does it place the Doom. Okay, we can kind of work with that. Still not great, but we can kind of work with that. Alright, in that case, I will start with Rita. Now the keyword here is you have to evade them, so even if I evade the 10-0 with Rita's ability, it won't help. But that's okay. So I'm going to spend 2 actions and 3 resources to do Elaborate Distraction. I'm going to evade both of them. I'll use my ability on one of them to do a damage. We'll do it to the top one. Actually, change of plans. We'll put it on the bottom one. Then I'm going to move on over there. Okay, and that's going to be it for her. So both of them are not ready, so getting the last clue here will not screw me over. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and investigate this location. I will commit a perception. This will bring me to 8 to 4. This is an ancient location, so I went to 5 to 4. So unfortunately, I only draw 1 card, but I do get 1 clue. Okay, I'll go ahead and use the Pin of the Queen now to grab the other clue. So now the Necronomicon is not in an odd spot anymore. Okay. So this one is the one you have to take damage in horror, which is a little painful. But that might be what I have to do, because otherwise I'm kind of busy otherwise. So I'm going to definitely move. I know this one, I believe, is you have to make like willpower checks. So I might wait on that one. So, oh, actually, I don't have a choice. I can only go to that location next. So let's, I guess we'll do that. Chapultepec Park, one of the largest city parks in the West. The Bosque de Chapultepec is a beautiful ecological landmark overlooking the city, built in what was once a sacred forest many centuries ago. 1 shroud, 0 clues. After you fail a willpower test while at this park, take 1 horror. As an action, you can explore, test willpower 3. If you succeed, draw the top card of the exploration deck. If it is a location, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'll go ahead and do the Expedition Journal. I will do a willpower 3 check. What do we got in here? Okay, we will just do an Occult Theory. So it will be 8 to 3. We pass. We want Blue Triangle. Oh my god. This run. This run scares me. I am terrified. Alright, after it enters play. Each investigator at this location discards 2 cards at random cards from his or her hand. As an action, you can discard your hand of at least 3 cards to discover 2 clues at this location. 2 shroud, 4 clues. Crazy. Alright, well, I have to discard 2 cards at random. Alright, losing Mr. Rook does suck, but I'm glad I at least got to keep the ward. Not much else going on here. I can do an investigation 5-2. I think I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to use Ancestral Knowledge to grab a deduction and commit it. This will make it 6-2. And we pass. We get 2 clues. Enemy phase. This guy's going to move over. Upkeep. This guy will get engaged. Okay, Pendant of the Queen. Long shot. Investigation. 6 of 8. Brotherhood Cultist. You are going to be annoying. Terrence and timed willpower 3 check for each point you fail by, lose action or take a horror. Okay. This is a hex, so I could use Grizzled on it. I'm not going to though. Actually, I might. It's each point I fail by, huh? We'll do Sparrow Mask. We'll go 5-3. We pass, and now I have no limit for this ability until the end of the round. Cool. Investigation phase. Brotherhood Cultist, what am I going to do with you? I do have the means to evade him. That much is certain. Everything else, though, is not looking the most viable. Yeah, we do have a survey of the area to evade with. We do need to deal with this nonsense. Okay, I'll start with Rita. I'm going to evade and commit a long shot and go 6-2 on this guy. That sucks. Alright, I will fight the Brotherhood Cultist. We'll go 4-3, or 4-2, sorry. Okay, he's at least dead. I'm going to go ahead and move, and then I'm going to exhaust the track shoes and do a 6-3 test. And pass and move again to here. Alright. Then we'll go to Mandy. I'm going to Ancestral Knowledge this survey the area. I'm going to attempt to evade the Brotherhood Cultist with the survey the area. So we'll go 8-2. He's now evaded. Next, I'm going to go ahead and investigate, going 5-2. Yeah, 5-2. I pass just barely and get 1 clue. Last action, I'm going to I'm just going to draw a card. Okay, I can work with that. I'm probably going to save this for later, though, but we'll see. Enemy phase, this guy's aloof, that guy's not moving. Upkeep, this guy will re-engage, I'll have it engage him, or her, sorry. We are now 7 of 8. Words of power, rather. That's actually a problem. Creeping Poison, Surges. Lost in Time, shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck. I will do the Sparrow Mask. Okay, investigation phase. So we're going to probably advance regardless, even if I were to get the relic out at this point. Because that Brotherhood Cultist, and there's not really much I can do about it. Let me think. It's possible. We'll put it that way. It's possible for me to do it, but if I auto-fail at any point, then it's a botch. Oh, actually, no, I can't do it, because Words of Power are in the... actually... Yes, I can do it. It is possible. Not very probable, but it's possible. Okay, then we'll do it this way. No, that won't work either. Yeah, I think I should just assume we're going to advance this round. That's going to be what's happening right now. So I will spend 2 actions to go ahead and I mean, my other option, of course, is doing Relic Ages and having it work that way. But I don't exactly want to do it that way. Give me a moment. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to evade the Brotherhood Cultist. We'll go 6 to 2. I succeed. There's no limit to my ability. I am going to definitely use my ability for this and move to here. After you move, I can activate this ability, which I should have been doing more often, and do a 6 to 3 test, or 3 to 6 test. Actually, I had the right the first time. I succeed. I get to move another space. We'll go to Xochimilco. A small wooden boat bumps up against the side of the canal, swaying gently in the rippling water. A juniper tree sticks out of the shallow water nearby, bending in the mild breeze. 4 stars, 0 clues. While you're here, you cannot gain resources. As an action, you can spend 3 resources. Draw the top card of the exploration deck. If it is a location with a matching symbol, you do the thing. Get engaged by this. So, 1 action done. I'm going to go ahead and fight this guy. I will take 1 horror and go 4 to 2 with the Meat Cleaver. This location is just -1 because it's not ancient. I do 2 damage, killing him, and I'll heal 1 horror. Then I'm going to go ahead and move back to the middle. Alright. I'm then going to go ahead and spend 2 resources on Mandy to do the Relic of Ages. And I'm going to go ahead and exhaust it and use it. It's a willpower or book 4 test. I will go ahead and use the ancestral knowledge here to draw this and commit it. So it'll be 7 to 4. And we'll go 8 to 4 with the Grim Memoir. So 8 to 4. Good luck. We succeed. I get to remove a doom from the agenda. Putting it that. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 actions to get rid of Word of Power. And that's it. So I bought ourselves a round. Alright, enemy phase. Everything's either exhausted or engaged. Or aloof or exhausted. Upkeep. Sound support. Upkeep. I'm done running. Cool. Alright, this guy will be engaged with me. We'll go ahead and go back to 7 out of 8 again. Etsley Guardian, any empty location, ancient if able. We'll put it down here. Actually, I'm okay with putting it here. Shadowed, if there are no cultists in play, take 1 horror. Otherwise, you find the nearest one, which is going to be this one. It gets 1 doom. I need to do a willpower 3-3 test. If I fail, I take 2 horror. This is a scheme. I will go ahead and commit my Grizzled. This will be 4-3. Alright, I will go ahead and do a lucky, so I actually pass that check and draw a card. That's why I did it. I'm not exactly sure how it works as far as that, because you can't go below 0. But I'm assuming, yeah, so this is -4. Obviously, I could have gone down to like less than 0, but you can't. So I don't know if it just stops at 0 and then I can lucky back up to 3. So that's why I went ahead and just committed, just to get that headache out of the way. Alright, so we got dooms on these guys. Good times. Alright, investigation phase. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move to here. I'm going to go ahead and engage the Brotherhood Cultist. And then I'm going to evade it, 6-3. I mean, if I fail it, I take 1 horror. Yeah, I'll just go 6-3. We pass. Alright, I'll use my ability to do 1 damage. Alright. Mandy. We got things to do. We can go 5-2 here. I think for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to go ahead and attach this Grim Memoir to the library pass and then use it to investigate. That'll put us at 7-2. I'll do it again, 7-2. Succeeded, and I get to draw a card. Get 1 clue. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to get Pathfinder out. And move with it. Over to here. And then I could explore, but I'm not going to this round. It's too risky, and I don't have any resources to do a ward right now. So that'll be it on that front. Enemy phase, nothing going on here. Hunter is still doing its thing. Brotherhood Cultist is going to re-engage at this point. Upkeep. Mythos, we do definitely advance at this point. And conveniently, we get rid of all this extra doom. The Harbinger's Pursuit. Check campaign log if the Harbinger is still alive. Following no telltale flash of light, A sudden explosion of thunder blasts across the sky, causing you to jump in shock. As though drawn from the second, a streak of silver lightning crashes down from the clouds, ripping a tear in the world before you. Through this tear, a familiar creature emerges. It hisses in anger and raises its gilded spear to attack. Search the collection for the Harbinger of Illusion and spawn it at the location farthest from all investigators. If there are 6 or more tally marks under Yig's Fury, you spawn it at the lead investigator's location instead. It enters play with damage equal to the amount of damage recorded on the parentheses, so 0. Harbinger of Illusion. 2, 1, 2. So I believe the furthest is here. Alright, the barrier is thin. Ishaka's strength continues to wane as you journey through the strange vision. You've never seen her this troubled. She is often distracted, peering about as though any moment the answer will appear before her. From time to time, she mutters strange phrases to herself. How could this have happened? The answer will be with the ancients. Someone else is here. I know it. 5 doom to advance. So we have essentially 5 doom to try to flip these locations and get the clues off them. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Card draw. Brother Cultist. Boom. Window. Good times. Alright. Well, we get to put a doom on the agenda. There's no way we're not resetting our progress. That's just not happening. Alright. So this is what we're dealing with right now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start with Mandy. I'm going to go ahead and commit a Promise of Power and try to evade this guy. This will put me at 6 to 2. It's evaded. All right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it. It's just, there's just too much. Yeah, losing a round to the Serpent definitely sucked, but also just getting caught by so many enemies. There's just nothing you can do. All right. Oh, also, this should have been taken to the bottom of the deck or, at the end of her turn. Yeah, I just can't get the I just can't get any momentum. And there's way too many treacheries in this thing to worry about. I think there's still 4. There's still 4 treacheries in here. I'm going to go ahead and use the Expedition Journal, and I will take a damage to explore. I'm looking for Black Star. Okay. Timeline Destabilization. Test 1 willpower. This test gets +1 difficulty for each ancient location in play, which is 3. If you fail, take 1 damage and 1 horror, and shuffle it into the exploration deck as the thread pull the weave unravels. So I can go. I'm right now 3 to 4. Yeah, I'm currently 3 to 4. I'll go ahead and do Ancestral Knowledge. Grab this last Promise of Power. We'll go 7 to 4. 8 to 4 with Eureka. All right, we pass. I'm going to go ahead and use my ability and grab 2 cards with the Eureka. I will grab the Survey the Area and this Segment of Onyx. This at least gets discarded. All right, next. I'm going to go ahead and explore again. Yeah, I'll just explore again. There's the other one, window to another time. So yeah, this one is just going to be choose and shuffle an ancient location back into the exploration deck. So yeah, I'll take the one horror and do the ward here. That's what I was saving it for. All right. Last action, I am going to go ahead and explore one more time. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle just in case. All right, Black Star. There we go. Sacred Woods, 6 Shroud, 2 clues. While you are at Sacred Woods, increase the cost of each card you play by 2. While you are investigating Sacred Woods, you get -1 Shroud for each asset you control. Currently, I control a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It does count permanents as far as I know. So yeah, this is 0 Shroud. I'm going to go ahead and Pathfind move. There's not really a place I can Pathfinder move, is there? Going up is not an option because I can't gain resources while I'm up there. So we'll go left. It's either that or I just stay here and hope that Brotherhood Cultist gets its act together. I mean, I guess that's an option. I can do I'm done running if I need to. Yeah, I'll just stay here, and we'll just bear whatever's coming. Oh, sorry, for the extra, I did more than one Explorer, didn't I? Yeah, I did multiple times. I should have taken some extra damage and stuff. I'll take another damage and another horror. I believe that should balance it all out. All right. Of course, now I'm nearly dead. Let's, actually, I'll do the reverse. We'll be at that. All right. Rita, I'm going to go ahead and evade this Brotherhood Cultist. 6 to 2. Good to go. I'm going to go ahead and use my ability to move. And then yeah, we're going to be cutting this close. I will spend an action and 3 resources to go ahead and get out Dirty Fighting. And then get out Chair's Keepsake. Do we want to do it that way? Sure. We'll do it that way. Because I do need to stay here so I can get the Brotherhood Cultists off. Alright. Enemy phase. This guy will move up. This guy will move over. This will unexhaust. This will engage me. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. Second Doom. Timeline destabilization again. So difficulty is actually 5 now. Yeah, it's 5 now. It is a hex, so I'll have Rita commit a Grizzled. This brings up the 6 to 5. We'll go. We'll just go 7 to 5, 8 to 5. Yeah, 7 to 5, 8 to 5, like that. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So 8 to, oh, it's 8 to 5 actually. I'll commit the sound support instead. So that'll be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 5. Okay, we do pass. I get to search top 3. I'll use my ability to grab 2 cards. I trigger my Shocking Discovery. It's the Guardian. I'll put it down here. Okay, so we got the Shocking Discovery out of the way. This, and then I need to get my thing. Alright, another Doom. I mean, it's either that or we flip this over. I haven't lost any... Okay, we will flip this location over. Wait, do the clues carry over? If they do, then I don't want any part of it. Yeah, it does carry over. Okay, we'll just take the Doom then. We're going to advance no matter what. Because I would have to flip 2 locations and clear the clues all at once. It's just not happening. Alright, investigation phase. Okay. I'll start with Rita. I'm going to evade 6 to 2. You're evaded. I will do the dirty fighting first. After you evade an enemy, exhaust dirty fighting, take a fight action. After you evade an enemy. Can I do it the opposite order? I get to choose the results, I guess. There might be some rules about actions, though. Alright, supposedly as long as you're doing stuff during the reaction opportunity, you can do it in any order. So I'll do dirty fighting first. And attack with the meat cleaver. This will give him 1 Doom. So I'm going to be 4, 6 to 3. And I'll gain a horror. Okay, I do 2 damage and kill it. Oh, I don't do 2 damage. It has 3 health. Okay. Well, I do... Well, in that case, I'll just put the horror on the hunting jacket. So I can get these out finally. And then I will use my ability to do 1 damage and kill it. Because I kind of need to regardless. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and just move up. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if I explore or not at this point. So I'll just move back and deal with this guy. I'll attack him with the meat cleaver. This will give him a Doom. I'm going to commit, so this is right now 4 to 3, 5 to 3, 7 to 3, and I'll take a horror. Does 2 damage, kills it. I'll go ahead and grab this hunting jacket, put it in my hand. Didn't need to shuffle, sorry about that. And that's it, all of our actions. Mandy, I'm going to go ahead and just investigate this location. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's a test at 0. Pass. Pass, and I could search top 3. There's my Necronomicon. Not much I can do about it, though. So I do get the clues off of this. That's the good news. Bad news is there's not much else I can do. So I'm going to Pathfind a move away. And last action, I'm just going to gain a resource. Enemy phase, this guy will move over. This guy will move over. Upkeep. Upkeep. And Mythos. We advance. Visions of the future. The silver flashes of lightning become more frequent and the sky starts to split open. Thunder rumbles in the distance and you watch as the skylines of both cities, the present-day city and its ancient predecessor, are consumed in a giant stone maw. 6 pillars surround the cavernous opening, each glowing vibrantly. A red hue erupts from the center of the opening and the ground shakes with the force of an earthquake. We've seen enough. We must get out of here while we still can, Ishtaka shouts. For the first time since meeting her, you hear trembling in her voice. Find each tunnel location and play with no clues on it and add those to the victory display. We got 4 out of 6, which is generally seen as pretty good. I have done all of them before, and I would rather it had done all of them, but we're just going to have to take what we got. Each investigator loses all clues. Spawn the set aside. Then, for each present-day location in play, search the exploration deck for a location with a matching symbol in the upper left and place it on top of that location, taking its place. So the ones that are still remaining get added in now. All right. And then I get to choose which one to replace these ones with, I guess. Yeah, we still had one treachery in here, which was a Terran time, which could have potentially killed Mandy at this point. Or almost kill her. Okay, so I'm replacing this one with this one. No one's at this location, so we don't worry about that thing. And then the Zocalo, we're going to replace with the canals. And this spawns with 4 resources on it. Spawn the set aside Padma Amrita in Templo Manor, or Mayar. Which over here. Also, we do trigger all of the things for this. After Temporary Mayar enters play, shuffle your discard pile into your deck and discard cards from the top of the deck until a weakness discard. Draw that weakness. No one's at that location. That's just that. No one's at the location. No one's at that location. And this one is just doesn't even have a reaction. So this one we still need to resolve. You have to shuffle your discard into your deck and then discard cards from the top until you get your weakness. And I have to do that for both of them. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally hit that reshuffle button. Okay, and then it's what, draw it? Draw that weakness, which all this does is it gets shuffled back in. I have 3 cards left in the deck. Okay, and then over here, same thing. Overzealous. No cultists. I'll take one horror, and then it surges, which it already had surge, so that works out. We can put the horror on you. And then I have to shuffle a non-story asset. I'll shuffle the track shoes back in. Okay. So that resolves that. That's all good. All right, and then we go into get the new agenda and remove the current act. All right. The time collapsing. Alejandra's former critic stands atop the steps of the main temple, her true self revealed to you. Silver streaks of lightning wind through her open arms. Coiled about her feet is an army of hissing cobras. Only the chosen can find the nexus. Only I am worthy. 6 doomed to advance. The return trip. Ishchaka points to the temple in the distance, shouting over the raging storm. It was her. She is the one trapping us here. She's known all along. One way or another, if you want to get back home, you'll have to slip through the rift Padma entered from. If Padma and Marita is defeated, you advance. Or if investigators in Temple of Mayor spend the requisite number of clues, you advance. Now the catch. Padma and Marita, cold-blooded charmer. 5 fight, 3 evade. 6 health, humanoid serpent servitor elite, alert, retaliate hunter. While Padma and Marita is ready, you cannot discover any clues on any of the ancient locations. After Padma and Marita attacks you, if you have at least 1 clue, flip one of your clues to the doom side. Otherwise, you take 3 horror, and otherwise she doesn't actually have any damage or horror. Victory 2, vengeance 2. So that is what we're looking at right now. All right. So we need to still draw bad cards, so we'll do that now. Creeping Poison. Words of Power. So as long as we can exhaust her, and then just grab all the clues we need, that is the way we can do it. We can also just kill her. That is an option too. But yeah, unfortunately our options are kind of limited. One second. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'll go ahead and draw my other Mythos card. Arrows from the trees. I'll take a damage. And unfortunately so does Mandy. She'll use a Deny Existence and negate it. Because everything's an ancient location now. And that is not a hex. Oh, after you draw a hex card, you can discover 1 clue from this location. Unfortunately, we can't do that because she is ready. Okay. I also, well, no one has any doom. That's the good news. Okay. Investigation phase. So we just need to get the clues. And then we'll be somewhat in a good spot. Our evasion's only 5 now. I can get Pete Sylvester out and tank a hit if I need to. Okay, we'll spend 3 to get out Pete Sylvester. I'll give us +1/+1. Rita will move down and get engaged by you. So right now we're 6-3. I'm going to go ahead and commit a hunting jacket to evade. So it'll be 7-3. Please don't auto-fail. I'll commit a take heart just in case. Okay, we do pass. You're evaded. I'm not going to really... I mean, I guess I could. I'll go ahead and just do a damage to her. It doesn't really matter. I'm not planning on killing her. Yeah, I won't bother. It's too scary. Too scary. Can't handle it. Okay, Mandy. We'll go ahead and... What are options? So as long as she's exhausted, I can grab clues now. And I just need to grab 4 and then spend them on Templo Mayar. I think that's pretty much all we can do. Alright, Pathfind move. Down to here. I will then proceed to investigate. I'm currently 5 to 2. My segment of onyxes are already in the discard, so I'll commit a segment of onyx to go 6 to 2 and get 1 clue. I'm going to commit my other segment of onyx, 6 to 2, get another clue. Nothing around me has doom on them as far as I can tell. And then I'm going to exhaust the library pass, bring out the Necronomicon, and spend all 6 of the secrets to grab 2 clues from any location. I'll grab them from this location. And spend them. The gateway home. If the investigators spent the clues to advance. No, come back here, Padma screams as soon as she figures out your plan. You can't leave me here. I have been chosen. Ishtaka looks back at her with a pitying glance. The two of them share a knowing look for a short moment, and you hear Padma cry. How could you? Ishtaka pays her no heed, turning back to face you. Go, I'll be right behind you. You shake off your fear and step through the rift. Resolution 1. Alright. You are assailed by a prismatic assortment of colors and lights as your mind hurtles back into place. When you next open your eyes, you are lying in the city's central plaza, your head still spinning from the sensation of plummeting. A small voice in the back of your mind tells you that it was all a figment of your imagination, a daydream. It is the voice of self-preservation warning you to avoid the path of lunacy you have set upon. You ignore it and rise to your feet, your legs trembling with terror and exhaustion. That woman, she must have realized who I am and followed through the breach I made. Perhaps she wished to know the location of the Nexus as well, Ishtaka says cryptically. Your head pulses with pain as you attempt to remember the events of the past few hours. You saw it, did you not? The cave, the maw in the sky, bathed in red? She continues, searching the sky in contemplation, it must be the path that leads to the Nexus. It is difficult for you to recall with precision what happened on the other side. But the image of the red cavern flickers across your memory. You confirm with Ishtaka that you saw the cavern as well, and ask her how she knows it leads to the Nexus. Her bloodshot gaze meets yours, and you think you spot the hint of a smirk tugging on her lips. It is a difficult thing, peering across the boundary into the very threads of time. Perhaps you are more than you seem, she responds, the irony of her statement lost on her thought. Though she departs without answering a question, you understand the answer that remains unspoken. In the haze of broken timelines and unexplainable phenomena, the path you saw was one future, a future you intend to fulfill. Record that X paths are known to you. X is the number of locations in the victory display. If it's 3 or more, record that Ishtaka has confidence in you. So at least we got her confidence. Unfortunately, this also means I have to do the infamous Heart of the Elders Part 1. If you get all 6, you get to skip Heart of the Elders Part 1. I've actually never done it. I either get the perfect in Boundary Beyond, or I rage quit, usually because I auto-fail and get a weakness. Or I auto-fail trying to deal with the 10-0. Yeah, we just kind of got bogged down by enemies. That's really all that came to it. We got kind of unlucky. Yeah, we got pretty much unlucky. It's hard. I know it's hard to say that how we got unlucky. We started with a decent amount of segment onyxes. We didn't have Mr. Rook right off the bat, but we did have the Necronomicon really early, and it definitely got us a lot of cards. But unfortunately, I couldn't keep things going. We did also have to discard cards pretty early because I had too many cards, and giving up my economy probably was not the best decision in the long scheme of things. That being said, I didn't really get most of my cards I needed to play, like this was it sound support and stuff like that, or even my Mr. Rook. Actually, I think the biggest thing that hurt me was getting Mr. Rook out and then having to choose between getting Mr. Rook or the journal to shuffle back in. I think it was. Having to shuffle Mr. Rook back into the deck definitely hurt me quite a bit, because that was a lot of card draw that I just flat out lost, and it also prevented me from getting my weakness out, which also meant I couldn't. Once I got another Mr. Rook, I was like, I can't risk it. I'll just end up drawing my weakness. So it was just kind of bad all around. Still, drawing 6 cards right off the bat was still very useful. It was just a lot of combinations of things. We did draw the Ancient Evil, 4 times? I did ward it once. We had somewhat okay luck on the Exploration deck, but eventually it just kind of bogged us down. And then, like I said, we just drew a lot of enemies that I kind of had to deal with Rita. I mean, we drew the Serpent of Tenno right off the bat. And yeah, that was just kind of it. At least we didn't draw our curses. But we didn't get defeated. I didn't get a weakness. We got 4 paths known, and we have Ishtaka's Confidence. So I'll just take what we can get. But like I said, I'm not exactly prepared for Heart of the Elders Part 1. That's actually where the pocket knife can potentially be used for certain issues. There's also a lot of ways you can get poisoned there. So if I get poisoned, that's kind of it. Because I don't have a way... I guess I have 1 medicine, don't I? Yeah, I have 1 medicine. But yeah, there's some really nasty effects. There's also some in the Part 2 as well. But now we have to deal with like double duty there. One thing to note though is there is victory in Heart of the Elders Part 1, so we can make use of that, I guess. Harbinger's still alive, don't need to update that. No Yix Fury. And we get Victory X, which is 0, but we get 1 additional experience for every Tenno location in the victory display, so we get 4. So we got that going for us. We got to do the interlude, so I'll go ahead and do that now. So for the Jungle Beckons, once more, you venture south, leaving the safety of civilization behind. There's no time to waste. The path to the Nexus lies on familiar ground, not far from the previous expedition's trail. Using the leather-bound journal as your guide, you retrace the expedition's journey. Soon you are deep within the jungle, surrounded on all sides by hazards, some natural, others bizarre. We are out of gas. Unfortunately, a dozen or so miles north of the edge of the rainforest, your car ran out of gas. Since you are pressed for time, you decided to walk the rest of the way instead of returning to refuel. Traveling by foot set you back several hours, but soon enough you reach the jungle once more. So we're going to end up not being able to mulligan. We don't have a map. We do have rations, which we have to eat. So we're just going to go ahead and mark off a ration each. So at least we won't lose any resources. And no one's poisoned. As you trudge through the lush jungle and pass a series of familiar overgrown temple ruins, your keen eye spots a pattern along the stone wall of the structure. Upon closer examination, you find that vines and caked dirt has hidden an elaborate carving of hieroglyphics. If we have a canteen, we can do patterns in stone. Otherwise, we do secrets in the stone. Try as you might, you are unable to clear off the dirt and vines with only your bare hands. You have no choice but to leave the mystery behind. And then finally, check the chaos bag and the campaign log. If all are true, you can do Faith Restored. I don't have any cultist tokens. We do have the Bond and the Confidence, but we're not doing Ishtaka route. And with that, we'll be doing Heart of the Elders. We do have 4 experience, so give me 1 moment. Okay, so I'm going to spend 3 experience to get the second Studious. That way I can start with 7 cards in my hand with Mandy. Thankfully we didn't get defeated, so we don't have to worry about the Fool for this time around. And then, so that leaves her with 1 experience remaining. And then for Rita, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade both my Look What I Founds. I know I haven't been using them, but this might help with some clooving in the future, so might as well get this up and running. I was also considering Observed, because I don't exactly want to go, because right now the only other thing on the list is either going Grizzled stuff or going, what do you call it, upgrade the meat cleavers to fire extinguishers, which honestly I don't care too much to do right now. So yeah, sorry I didn't get everything, but I know in most cases you're not supposed to get everything. So we did what we could. But yeah, with Studious, I'm hoping that'll help mitigate the fact we won't have a mulligan for this upcoming one. And hopefully it won't be too stressful. I know you can technically repeatedly do Heart of the Elders Part 1, because you have to keep doing it until you find what the path or something like that. I don't know how exactly it works. But we'll see if we can actually last long enough for that to happen. So, I'll go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Eeyore. Actually, I'll make sure I have all my cards here before I do that. So it was 32 card deck. We added, yeah, I'm missing a card. What am I? Oh, I found it. We're missing the existential riddle. So we had 32 cards in here because damage was set to the side. We added 5 with ancestral knowledge, and then we added 2 more with the relic and journal. So, all right, we'll go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Eeyore. This was Arkham Horror the Card Game, doing the Forgotten Age with Mandy Thompson and Rita Young. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're essentially at the halfway point. I'll see you guys next time.